Hello, in this video I'm going to show you how to install Node.js runtime on your computer so that you can run JavaScript locally outside of the browser. So Node is very popular and very easy to find. What you're going to want to do is just download the standard installer. There are lots of different ways you can run and install Node, but I'm just going to do the most standard one. Notice it's adding Node to the path. Depending on how you install, this may be something you'll have to do yourself, and I'm going to show you that in a minute. So when you use a program on the command line, like for example SSH you've seen, or Git you've seen, or even just the basic job shell commands like ls, the computer needs to know where to go to look for those programs. So when you add a new program to your computer, you have to make sure that the computer knows where to look, and the standard place that it's going to look is your path variable. And I can show you using git bash. Echo means print out, $ means environment variable, and path is the name of the path. So on here there's all these different places it's going to go to look for. You see this bin stands for binary. It's looking for programs that it can execute with certain names that you might say on the command line, so you don't have to specify the entire path of the program. So in Windows, the way that you manage those is typically by going to the environment variables control panel setting. So you can edit the system environment variables, click environment variables, and you see all these standard environment variables. So one of them is path, and you can click edit, and you'll see there's lines. Each one of these lines is a different place that your computer is going to go to look outside of the standard ones that Windows has. It's going to go and look in these certain places for these programs. And so now I see command not found Node in this terminal that I had opened before I was done installing Node. So I'm just going to close the terminal and restart it. And when I type Node now, we should see the JavaScript interpreter start to run. So just a minute ago it was not found, and now I restarted. That path variable got reset, and so now one of the places it's going to look, there's a program called Node. So that's really important to remember. That applies to a lot of different programs you're going to install. If you see program not found, even though you think you installed or downloaded that program, make sure your computer knows where to look. And in Windows, you're going to be editing that path variable. And so you'll see that we have C users user app data roaming npm, and that's probably most likely where it's going to find the Node package manager npm, and where it's going to find Node, the interpreter that we just ran. You see above we have Microsoft VS Code bin. That's where we're going to have the code binary that we can open using the terminal. So now that we've done that, you can see we're in the Node interpreter, and you can just type standard JavaScript here like the console in your web browser. So you say 5 plus 5, 10. Makes sense. Const a equals 5, a plus 5, 10, a plus 53, 58. So it's just like kind of like if you ran Python and you just start typing Python, it's like that, but for JavaScript. It's the same thing that's happening in the browser, but it's happening through Node on your computer. So what's the purpose of this? Basically, Node is a way that you can run JavaScript on a computer without having a browser. So for example, when you have a server, you might want to write your server in JavaScript and then be able to provide services through that code without having to use the JavaScript engine built into the browser. So it's a little bit confusing because there's JavaScript in Node and then there's JavaScript in the browser, and it's like, why do we need Node? Well, the reason is because you're not always going to have a browser around. Sometimes you want to take basically all those developers who know how to program in JavaScript for the browser, you want to take their knowledge and let them do other stuff like programming on a server. So it's just simply a way to run JavaScript on a computer without a browser.